The moment their blades met again, Chiron felt a ripple in the air, a low, thrumming resonance that vibrated through the earth and up into his bones. His eyes widened as the realization struck him. Sarun's weapon wasn't merely a blade anymore. Tendrils of shadowy ether curled and danced along its edge, pulsing in rhythm with her movements. This was no ordinary steel. It was imbued with a power that transcended the physical realm, woven with the essence of spirits bound by her will. A cold dread seeped into Chiron's chest, but he pushed it aside. There was no room for fear. Sarun's strikes came harder now, each swing infused with a strength that seemed to pull from the very air around them. The shimmering trails her blade left behind crackled with energy, and the ground beneath their feet shuddered with every clash. "You feel it, don't you?" she said, her voice low and dangerous as their swords locked in a storm of sparks. Her eyes glowed faintly, the mark on her cheek radiating with a sinister light. "The spirits are watching us. They always have been, but now, I command them. And they obey." Chiron gritted his teeth, his muscles straining as he held her blade at bay. Her power was unlike anything he had ever faced. The ether surrounding her sword wasn't just destructive, it was alive, responding to her fury and feeding off her pain. He pushed her back, his feet sliding against the trembling earth, but she didn't relent. Her movements were relentless, her strikes more ferocious with each exchange. It was clear she had come here to kill him, and yet, something lingered in her eyes, an emotion buried beneath her rage. Regret? Hesitation? Or perhaps it was a fleeting memory of the bond they once shared. "Sarun, listen to me," Chiron shouted, his voice cutting through the chaos. "This isn't you. The Sarun I knew would never give in to this darkness," she snarled, her blade swinging in a wide arc that forced him to leap back. "The Sarun you knew is dead," she spat, her voice dripping with venom. "You refuse to see the truth, Chiron. This world is broken, and clinging to the past will only shatter you further." Her words cut deeper than her blade ever could, but Chiron forced himself to stand tall. He tightened his grip on his Zetsuken, the ancient katana vibrating with a resonance that matched the pulse of his own heart. The glow beneath his pink skin intensified, radiating outward in waves of soft, golden light. For years, he had viewed his curse as a punishment, a mark of shame that separated him from the world. But now, in the heat of battle, he felt its true purpose stir within him, a presence that had always been there, waiting for him to embrace it. The spirit bound to him, ancient and unyielding, began to awaken fully. Sarun's eyes narrowed as she saw the change in him. "So, you've finally embraced it," she said, her voice laced with scorn. "But it won't save you." Her blade flared, the ether twisting into jagged tendrils that lashed out like whips. Chiron moved instinctively, dodging the strikes with fluid precision. Each step he took felt lighter, his connection to the spirit within him sharpening his senses and guiding his movements. But even as he fought with newfound strength, he held back. His strikes were deliberate, defensive. He wasn't fighting to kill, he was fighting to reach her. "Why are you holding back, Chiron?" Sarun sneered, her strikes growing more vicious. "Do you think sparing me will change anything? Do you think you can save me?" Her words were a taunt, but they rang with an underlying bitterness. Chiron parried another swing, the impact sending a jolt of energy up his arm. "I'm not your enemy, Sarun," he shouted, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. "You don't have to do this. You don't have to become this." Her expression twisted with anger, her blade cutting through the air in a vicious arc. "You don't understand," she roared, her voice trembling with rage. "I chose this. I embraced the darkness because the light offered nothing but lies and betrayal. This power, this is the only truth left in this world." Their blades clashed again, and the force of the impact sent shockwaves rippling through the clearing. The ground split beneath their feet, and the spirits that had watched in silence now swirled around them, drawn to the storm of energy they unleashed. Chiron could feel the weight of her pain, the years of loss and disillusionment that had shaped her into the warrior standing before him. But even now, he could sense the flicker of the woman she once was, buried beneath the shadows. "I won't fight you like this, Sarun," he said, his voice resolute. "If you want to end me, then do it. But I won't be the one to destroy what's left of you." For a moment, her movements faltered. Her grip on her blade tightened, and her expression wavered. But the ether around her surged, snapping like an angry storm. "Don't you dare pity me," she hissed, her voice cracking. She surged forward again, her strikes more desperate, more erratic. Chiron held his ground, his spirit's energy flowing through him with calm, unwavering resolve. As their swords clashed once more, he silently vowed to do what he must, not to defeat her, but to save her, even if it cost him everything. The battle raged on, their wills colliding in a storm of light and shadow, as the spirits of the land bore witness to a confrontation that would shape the future of their world.